Hello everyone and welcome to Rhys Thomas Tours. My name is Rhys Thomas. I am a London Blue Badge guide and today I am out of London. I am in Windsor. Behind me you can see Windsor Castle. This is the oldest and largest continuously inhabited castle in the world. And they say it's our Queen's favourite home, and Her Majesty the Queen has got several homes, so being her favourite is really quite an accomplishment. Now, though the Queen will spend most of her weekdays in Buckingham Palace, she will spend most of her weekends, and when I say weekends, I mean long weekends, normally Friday to Monday, she will be spending in this building. And she's been spending a lot more time than that this year because this is where Her Majesty the Queen has been in self-isolation. However, I can tell you that she's not in the castle today, because if you look at the top of the hill, just behind my head here, you will see the Round Tower. Now, the Round Tower has a flag flying from it, and that flag will tell us whether or not Her Majesty the Queen is in. Now, you might just about hear a plane going over my head. There is a plane going over my head because this is right by Heathrow Airport. It was bad planning for the Queen to build her castle so close to the airport, wasn't it? Well, the reason Windsor is so close to Heathrow is because Heathrow was originally an airfield in the First World War. It was built to protect Windsor Castle and the King at the time, George V, in case there were ever an air raid here at Windsor. Now, the structure you can see just behind my head, this is the Henry VIII Gate. This was built in the early 1500s under the reign of King Henry VIII. Henry VIII, he's the king I'm sure most of you will know about. He was the big fat king who had 6 wives. He built these towers with these very angular walls rather than the round towers you will see throughout. Now, round towers were very strong when your main way of attacking a castle was by knocking down the square walls or digging a tunnel underneath it, undermining it. That's where we get that term, to undermine. But by the 1500s, we had gunpowder. We had cannons, and so these angular towers were much stronger against that cannon fire. Now, we know that these gates were built for King Henry VIII because if you look just above them, you will see that there is a row of symbols. Now, these 5 symbols represent Henry VIII in different ways. Now, the first you will see is a Fleur De Lis. Now, the Fleur De Lis is the symbol of the royal family of France, because King Henry VIII, he considered himself to be the rightful king of France, as most of our kings and queens did right up until France started chopping their kings' heads off. Now, the next along is a pomegranate. Now, the pomegranate was the symbol of the Aragon family. So Catherine of Aragon was King Henry VIII's first wife. He was married to her for 24 years. That's more than his other 6 wives combined. In the middle, you can see the Tudor Rose. Now, the Tudor Rose, if this were coloured, it would be both red and white. Now, this is to represent the end of the Wars of the Roses, which is what Game of Thrones is basically based on. The House of Lancaster, the House of Lannister in Game of Thrones, represented by the red rose, and the House of York, represented by the white rose. The Henry VIII's father, King Henry Tudor, Henry VII, was of the House of Lancaster, and he married Elizabeth of York, uniting their families together in the Tudor Rose. So the Tudor Rose represents England as a united nation. Now, the next symbol you will see is a portcullis. Now, the portcullis, which is that sharp gate that would drop down in the castle in case of an attack, well, that portcullis is the symbol of King Henry VIII's grandmother, Margaret Beaufort, who was one of the strongest and most powerful women during the Wars of the Roses. And she was one of the main reasons that Henry VII was able to climb up the ranks and have himself crowned as King of England. And the final symbol you will see is a smaller version of the Henry VIII gates to show that through his father he can trace his blood back to King William the Conqueror, as can our Queen. All of our kings and queens can trace their blood back to King William I, William the Conqueror, who built this castle about 950 years ago. Now, his bit was the Round Tower. Now, the Round Tower, which is the bit with the flag you can just about see here, now this was built as the keep of the castle. The only thing that survives of William the Conqueror's original structure is the motte, that man-made mound of land that stands at the bottom of the round tower. But it's been lived in by 39 different kings and queens since then and altered, giving us this magnificent palace and fortress that you see today, the oldest and largest continuously inhabited castle in the world. Now, Windsor Castle is open. They've got strict social distancing throughout the building. You'll find hand sanitizer wherever you go. When you're going inside the building, everyone wears face masks. At the moment, they have a maximum capacity of 2,600 people. Now, normally on a Saturday in the summer, which is when I'm visiting, there would be about 15,000 people coming through here. So 2,600 over the course of a day, everyone pre-booking, means that it's very safe to go and visit. And what's extra special at the moment is that the East Terrace Garden is open to the public. This hasn't been open to the public for about 50 years, so it's wonderful that Her Majesty the Queen has allowed this to be open to the public so that people can visit this magnificent space, feeling safe around. Now, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of commentary about Windsor Castle. If you have enjoyed this, I've got loads of videos on my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook page. These vlogs are released every Tuesday. If you would like to come on a walking tour with me, you can visit my website, www.rhysthomastours.com. I'll put a link in the description below. If you would like to show your appreciation for these vlogs, then you can buy me a virtual coffee on buymeacoffee.com. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.